Hey, what's up? This is Chosen. We've got a Raid Shadow Legends video that is a pretty big deal to cover because we're getting some clarification now finally after the big news yesterday, talking about the fact that we can trade in some of our old fragments on not only legendaries but also epic champions to pull some chests that will help us work towards acquiring resources, but also a new support champion in Highmother Maud. Well, now we finally know what the kit is going to look like, and we can start to see if this champion is going to be worth it or not, and at least get some initial thoughts out there on the grading process. So first of all, I want to talk about what is Polarium's thoughts on this champion and what are they saying to us, and then I'll give you my own thoughts as we go over the kit. So Highmother Maud is designed as a universal support champion that will be useful in all areas of the game. That's a tall task. Her A1 keeps enemies under a decreased attack debuff while simultaneously buffing your main damage dealer with increased attack. The skill that will be particularly useful against bosses with high attack. With the A2, Highmother Maud decreases the duration of all enemy buffs by 2 turns and increases the duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn while healing them at the same time. That sounds like a cracked A2. I haven't looked at the kit yet. I like to do my grading analysis as a first reaction, kind of gut feeling kind of thing. So I haven't seen what any creators have said or checked Reddit, or I haven't even read her kit yet at all. So we're going to get like an authentic reaction here. Highmother Maud will be useful against Hydra in instances when the heads buff themselves or steal your buffs. Also, because Highmother Maud is not afraid of being sheeped, so I guess they're talking about polymorph. After using her A2, you can bring her to the arena as a buff stripper. That's actually a huge deal. Highmother, so I'm guessing she'll have some sort of passive where she's immune to the polymorph debuff, or she's immune to the sheep debuff, something like that. Highmother Maud's A3 revives all dead allies and places either increased attack or increased defense on them, depending on the champion's parameter. Oh, so it'll be like if they have a higher defense than attack, it'll give them something like that, some sort of qualifier. Naturally, the combination of mass revive plus buff is a gem of a skill that will work in any scenario. With her passive, Highmother Maud removes 1 random debuff from each ally at the start of her turn. That is very, very powerful. We've even seen some of the epics like Doom Priest be involved in some of the end game like Doom Tower boss runs just because of that passive strip every turn. Super good there. And then she's also going to place a heal on the most injured ally at the end of her turn. This will come in handy while facing the Hydra, bosses that place lots of debuffs, or in PvP against debuff champions. And of course, the accuracy aura in all battles will benefit Highmother Maud while using the A1 and the A2. And then they've got a note here: Highmother Maud can be empowered by using her own copies. Okay, so it's not going to be one of those situations where she's so hard to get, like a Lydia or something, that you have to use different champions to empower her to get the +1 and +2. You're going to have to actually get enough fragments to keep acquiring some duplicate copies of her in order to take part of the empowering process with her, meaning that there is no limit to the number of Highmother Maud fragments you can obtain through fragment exchange chests, and the champion can be fused multiple times, obviously. But okay, now let's go ahead and pull up the Highmother Maud leak image that Polarium always gives us when they've got a new champion being added to the game here. The unfortunate thing about these is they don't give us the base stats or the multipliers. We can't see things like the base speed. It's not as big of a deal for a support champion like her because we don't really need the damage multipliers. We don't care how much damage she does or how hard she's hitting on like her AoE nukes. But we do want to know things like, is her base speed 111 or 92? That's a pretty big deal. Is her base defense 980 or 1200? We need to know things like this to really know the scaling of the champion, but nonetheless, we can kind of grade the potential of her kit here. So, okay, first up with the A1, we've got attack 1 enemy with a 50% chance that can book up to a 70%, it looks like, of placing the decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. And then also we can book it up to a 100% chance of placing an increased attack on the ally with the highest attack for 1 turn. So just kind of on the default ability, constantly keeping that up, not only for your damage dealer, but for the boss you're going up against. Very, very solid A1 here that I really like. I'm going to go with like a B+ here on the A1. Then we've got the A2. It can book to a 3-turn cooldown, which is definitely huge, and it's going to be an AoE that can book to a 100% chance of decreasing duration of all enemy buffs by 2 turns. That's so good. Then increase the duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn and heal all allies by 20% of this champion's max HP. So going to be really important to know what her max HP is. If it's going to be like 16,000, that's a little bit low. But if it's like 21, 22,000, all of a sudden we can get a pretty big heal right here with the 20%. Because if we get her HP all the way up to something like 80,000, that would mean we're getting an AoE 16,000 HP heal on all allies every time she cycles through this ability on top of all of the buff manipulation that she's bringing. So this is a pretty insane ability. There's just so much utility here. I almost have to go S on this. It's like A+ or S. It's just such a good A2. Then we've got the A3, revive all dead allies with 50% HP and turn meter. And then if an ally's defense, this is the one where it's going to basically give them increased defense or increased attack based on which one they scale better with. If you're building like a Rotos with high attack, she's going to give the increased attack. If you're building something like a Ragash or a Soulless or some sort of nuker with defense, then we're going to go ahead and place the increased defense on whatever was revived. And this book's to a 4-turn cooldown. It's a revive plus a targeted buff that is going to make more sense based on the ally. I'd probably go with, it's 50% of each. It's pretty solid. I'm going to go with like an A-. I mean, anytime you get revive and a buff on them with a little bit of HP and turn meter, pretty solid. Then and she's also doing a bunch of heals so she can get them back up herself. A passive, remove a random debuff from all allies at the start of the champion's turn and place a heal on the ally with the lowest HP for 1 turn. So this is just, I love passive value. I love things that just happen and they're guaranteed. Things like Duchess's passive where it's just straight up reduces AoE damage, things like that. I love bringing passive value to any situation. So this is an amazing passive. I'm gonna like the constant cleansing and healing. I've got to go A+ on this passive right here. And then she doesn't even really need an aura to be good, but ally accuracy in all battles by 60 is really nice. She is going to be an amazing progression champion. Anybody who's early-ish in the game or mid-game in raid, this is going to be an amazing addition to your account. She is definitely worth it, in my opinion, as a trade-in fragment champion. They really did a pretty good job designing her. And I'm actually working on a pretty big project right now where I grade out the top 100 champions in raid, and I'm doing like a dopamine index or like a raid top 100 most wanted, and more will come of that here on the channel. It's going to be a pretty big project that I'm undertaking because I've got like pictures of the champions and everything and like a spreadsheet where I rate them, and we go like individually graded from 1 to 100 and all that. So it's going to take me a long time, but that'll be coming soon here on the channel. I don't know if we can get her out of shards. I'm assuming we can't. We're probably going to have to get her from the fragment trade-in that we're doing, but she would definitely go on like a raid top 100 most wanted. She is definitely an insane champion. She's in the running for like a top 30-ish legendary in the game. This is a really solid support kit. And I'll host a poll over on the community tab of the YouTube channel where we ask people your opinion on her grade. Is it S, A, B, C, that kind of stuff. I'm going to guess that she grades out as an A+. I'm going to guess like A probably gets the most votes and the second most will be S. So she's going to lean a little bit towards A+ overall. If I host a poll over on the community tab, she'll get a really good amount of A votes and then some S and then a little bit of B and hardly any C. So yeah, all in all, I really like this champion, and I really like the fact that Plarium is going to be giving us an opportunity to do something with those wasted fragments that are just sitting there in our summoning portal from previous events, especially with like the epics and stuff. It's great that we can trade them in as well. So the only thing that I'm concerned about is the drops of the fragments for this champion. There doesn't seem to be a reliable way to go about that. It doesn't seem like you're guaranteed to at least get like one in every chest you open or anything like that. It looks like it's RNG, and you could get some sort of meme like 4 brews instead of the fragments you're looking for this champion. I guess I switched my camera, it's over there. But yeah, that's the only thing that concerns me. All in all, I love the fact that we can trade in our fragments, and I really love how they designed this champion. I think it's going to be well received and well liked, and it's going to be a good addition to the game. I just worry about the fragment acquisition and how that's going to be implemented. I haven't been able to test that or see how those chests are going to work. But yeah, head on over to the community poll and let me know your thoughts on this champion. I always enjoy seeing how the different champions grade out according to the community as well. And remember to subscribe on your way out if you enjoy Raid Shadow Legends content, and also the Raid Top 100 list that I'm working on is going to be a lot of fun to produce as well. It should be coming soon here into the weekend or next week. I should start pumping out the videos about that. So I appreciate all of you. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.